This week on the Xfinity one-on-one Deep Slant, we've got one of our favorites, Justin Reid, safeties entering year 3. And Justin, before I ask you any questions, we talked to Eric Murray the other day, and we asked him about all these Zoom calls and these Zoom meetings that you guys are having. Who's the most disruptive on Zoom? Who's always got the dog barking or the kids crying
The
or
most
the noise?
disruptive in the Zoom calls?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good question. It probably gonna be AJ Moore or Keon Crossing. One of the two, man. The dynamic tandem, man, and especially in the room. But they're gonna be one of those guys for sure. Guys are characters.
That's really funny because Eric thought it would be him. He's like, I've got a dog, I've got a baby. He's like, it's just, he was saying it was probably going to be him. But.
Yeah, even very pretty solid about turning the mute on and off whenever he need to, whenever he's speaking and not speaking.
All right, let's talk about you. How's year 3 going for you? Obviously, it's not the season anyone expected, but for you personally, you've had some big plays this year. You blocked a field goal against the Titans. You had that big 4th down stop against Jacksonville. Tell me how it's been going for you so far.
I feel like I made a couple of plays. I feel like I've grown a lot in the 3 years being here on the mental side of the game, just understanding professional football, how offenses generically work, especially getting to know our division rivals and what their strengths and weaknesses are. We're all not exactly happy about where we are right now. Still have a lot to fight for this season and still a ways to go. Still got a bunch of games to play, including the exciting one this week against Cleveland. So just still chopping away at it, seeing that ways we can get better. Me challenging myself, ways that I can be better. One of the ways that I feel like, aside from my own play, that I've really grown this year is just the leadership and being in the room and trying to raise the level of play of the guys around me and be that voice and, help teach them the way that I was taught by the vets my rookie year and Kareem and Tyron and Jonathan Joseph, and be that guy for the new guys coming in.
I mean, I can't help but think about JJ and your 3rd years because JJ's first 2 years, the Texans made the playoffs. The 3rd year was a really disappointing season in 2013. And you were here for the 18 and 2019, where the Texans also won the division and made the playoffs. So this has got to come as a surprise for you.
Kind of weird. Yeah, I didn't even know it happened.
You're just like JJ, Justin.
Right. So, well, maybe I'll get to 100 sacks too. Then. You know what I mean? That's the trend that is going.
How has it been with Romeo Crennel? I know you guys have had a lot of experience with him and, he takes over the team. He's obviously done a lot for the defense in recent years, but what's the leadership been like under him so far?
Yeah. All the guys in the room love Raf, man. He just has something special about the way that he coaches that brings the juice, brings the energy. I mean, everyone remembers the video that went around whenever he was dancing after the Jaguars win the first time. He just really knows how to get the juice and energy out of the guys and get guys really excited to be on the field and play football and play physical and play hard. I think he's done a great job, and he's a defensive guy too, which I enjoy being on the defensive side of the guy. So he's really started, challenging the defense on being better, making more plays and getting 4th down stops and raising our level of play overall.
He said that you've really settled into your role, that you're playing more in the box these days in these last few games, and you've done really well. You've got some tackles and you seem really comfortable there. How has that been for you, adjusting to your role, playing up in the box?
We've put in a new scheme this year with the coverage we've been running with all the cover 3s and everything. And I've settled into it. I feel comfortable in the defense. I've really started to get a feel for it, especially in the last couple of weeks. But just continuing to build on that. There's always ways that, we can keep with the disguises, make things a little bit better, the crisper drop and things like that. But I have settled into the role. I'm starting to have more fun, making a couple more plays in that role down low and having a good time doing it.
What is it that you like playing in the box so much? Is it that you're closer to the ball? Is it you get to land a few more hits? What is it about that?
Yeah,
that you
I feel like
so
it's just a lot more action. I get to be a little bit more instinctive, being close to the ball. I get to fit in the run a lot more. You get to do a little bit of everything. Get the blitz off the edge. I didn't get the blitz nearly as much my first 2 years as I get to do now with all the exotic patterns that Coach Reid is putting in. So I have fun with it,
So when training camp started, you had to get used to Eric Murray playing alongside you, which you guys did really well. But then throughout the course of the season, there's been a lot more changes, either with injury or whatnot. Eric Murray's playing a little bit more nickel. You've got Lonnie Johnson at safety. With everyone else transitioning around you, how has that made your job a little bit harder? Or what have you had to do to sort of adjust to that?
Well, for me, it's just been about staying flexible, staying versatile. One of my strong points is I really know the defense extremely well in every position in it. So whenever injuries happen or anything happens to where we got to switch a guy around, I really feel comfortable switching, playing in the deep part of the field, down low, maybe even a star, if the team needs me to do that too. So we got a couple of guys that are flexible and dynamic and have versatile abilities that they're able to move around positions. So for me, it's just about putting everybody in the best place possible for the defense to be solid and make plays. So specifically for me, that's playing whatever role that Coach Reeve asked me to play. Right now, it's playing down in the box, and I have fun doing that. But whatever happens, injuries happen, the whole COVID situation happens. Guys have to move around sometimes, and I'm comfortable doing that too.
I mean, I've seen you a lot out and about in the community. You talk about being a good communicator. I know things are different this year, everything's virtual, but you have made some appearances. You've talked to some local high schools. You've been really passionate about getting out the vote and social justice initiatives. What part of that aspect do you like so much? What are some of your messages been to the youth around Houston?
Yeah, well, whenever I was a kid, I had a bunch of role models and idols that I looked up to in the athletic world. And now I'm on the other side of that, and it's really cool. And I take that responsibility seriously. Still get back and be that guy that wouldn't talk to a high school team, because that's something that those young men are never going to forget. You know what I mean? If I'm able to just affect a couple of them and inspire them to be better, or to put in better effort, or maybe even inspire them to grow up one day and do the same thing what I did for them to do for the next generation after them. That's what I really seek to do. So it's always been a big initiative of mine. I want to be out and be active in the community and make a difference. And that's what I intend to keep doing.
I think it's really interesting because it's not just sports that you're talking about. You're also very accomplished, obviously, having gone to Stanford. You're pursuing your engineering degree. So, there's a lot of options for kids these days. They don't have to just be athletes because not everyone's going to be a professional football player, but you can really drive home the stay in school, study hard message. What about you and John Reid? You've got two engineers now, or aspiring engineers, because Reid's got another Jay Reid. He's got an engineering degree, and everyone makes fun of me for